welcome to Let's Talk Halo 5 Beta. The 3-week beta for Halo 5 multiplayer is up, and I've drafted in long-time Halo fan Bud to review this with me. So Bud, just so we can get a perspective on how much you played and how much you got through this, how much did you actually play of the Halo 5 beta in the end? You had 3 weeks. Did you take full advantage of this?
Yeah, I played pretty consistently over the 3 weeks. I dropped pretty much everything else for it just to cram it in, you know, and get as much practice as I could.
So was you playing mainly on like solo Bud going on his own, or did you have anyone that you played with in teams, or was it just sort of Bud on his own going mental?
Nah, just Bud on his own trying to survive in the wild, which was pretty difficult.
Yes, I think it would have been quite difficult for new and especially old Halo fans alike with the amount of changes that are made. But off the bat, I mean, we know that 343 Industries had a bit of a nightmare of the Halo Master Chief Collection in terms of the matchmaking. Did you experience any matchmaking issues yourself whilst you was playing?
It was a little bit shaky at times. Like it kept chucking me out to the main menu and stuff, but it was much better than the Master Chief Collection. I thought
you could actually get into a game, couldn't you? Which was handy.
Yeah, that's always a bonus.
Yeah, I've played the first night I played, which evidently was the first night it dropped over here in the UK.
Yeah.
I think the first 3 times I tried to get in a game, I got kicked out. But after I got into a lobby, it was pretty smooth sailing. There's a bit of a gap, sort of a delay between going from one game to another within the lobby, but overall it was acceptable. And for a beta, I mean, you don't expect the finished product. It's been just over a week actually since the beta finished and wrapped up. You've had time to digest. I mean, at a high level, what did you make of Halo 5's beta overall?
Well, I really enjoyed it actually. I struggled at first. I walked in there and just got absolutely caned. Like the first 10 games probably, really? I was struggling. And I've been practicing on the Halo 4 modes, like online modes and stuff, just trying to get up to speed. And then it didn't help. I just got killed instantly. But after a while, I got used to it, and I really started enjoying it. And it felt like a good Halo game. You know?
Did it?
Like it's going to be a good one.
Did it lose any of its sort of Halo feeling with the amount of changes that they did make, or did it still feel grounded in its roots at a Halo game?
I think it's kind of, I felt like it's halfway between a Call of Duty game and a Halo game, if I'm honest. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing because both have benefits, but you could kind of tell that they're trying to get Call of Duty fans on board as well as Halo fans, you know, to bridge that gap between the styles. It was very fast, and you know, you get killed really quickly. There's not much time to react once someone starts shooting you.
Yeah.
If you're not got like your aim on them straight away, then you're gone.
Yeah, I didn't find it as bad as Call of Duty though. You can still recover in typical Halo fashion, but it's not exactly like Call of Duty where you just get SMG and then you're down. But it was faster paced, and the maps were a lot smaller, wasn't they? So I don't know whether that was played part into the way that the deaths and the amount of times you would die. Is that the maps were quite confined and small. At least the ones that I got a chance to play on anyway. So obviously there's going to be a lot more traffic and a lot more sort of conflict going on. So the turnover and kill to death ratio might not be as good as what you'd expect. Was there any? I mean, we had sprint that was already in the game, but you could sprint indefinitely now. You could clamber up onto sort of ledges and stuff. You had your thruster packs to move side to side and dodge. You could hover in midair. You're aiming down sights for pretty much all weapons or some sort of smart scope ability, and also the ground and pound kill. What was the highlights for you in terms of those gameplay mechanics? Did they all work for you, or was there some that you thought, this isn't really what I would want into a game?
I really liked the boosts, the side to side boosts, and the clamber. Yeah. I think they all worked really well. And like with the sort of new mechanics, players kind of develop new behaviours. You know, like someone's always finding the best way to use when you're in a bit of trouble, you just boost and you're out of it quickly, and it's quite useful. I didn't like the hover function. I felt that kind of made you a bit vulnerable in the air when you're scoping in midair. And I kind of like on the old Halos where you just jump and you get a shot in midair and it would feel good, but I felt hovering's a bit of sort of cheating. if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because
you don't have to be as
no,
good.
of course, because even I was getting kills from hovering, so that sort of gives you that even a player of my basic level could get it. I think I actually only in terms. I think we alluded to on the other one that maybe on the earlier sort of Let's Talk we did that maybe the ground and pound could be overused, but I tried it about 1,600 times and only got 1 or 2 successful kills. So I felt like they balanced everything that was put in quite well. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
Yeah, I thought that ground pound thing, it was a bit redundant for me. Like I tried to use it a couple of times, just missed and then got killed instantly.
It's like an exhibition move, isn't it? Really, it's not really. I find that if you do that, you're sort of rubbing the salt in the wounds, and so I don't think it's going to be too useful. Although if there's more sort of if there's higher parts of the map where you can sort of look down and see the enemies, maybe there'll be more opportunity for it. But I felt the way that they were confined, there wasn't really much use for it. And as I said, I only got 2 kills out of the multiple times I tried. But it was fun doing it. It was really satisfying when I did finally get one. But at least it alleviated my fear that something like that might just be too powerful.
Yeah.
Now the game modes themselves, we had obviously Slayer, which was your standard deathmatch that we've had for years and pretty much all the Halo games. But we also had Breakout, which was almost like a search and destroy type take on things for Halo, where you had 1 life per round, and obviously the round winner was the last team to have someone standing. It was the first to 5 rounds. Did you play much of this new particular mode?
Yeah, I played a bit of Breakout actually. I wasn't too good at it, and obviously it's a real kind of just storm the enemy and take them out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I liked it though. I thought it was kind of a nice. In Slayer, it's a bit full on, and you're committed to the game, and you got to fully concentrate. Breakout, kind of, you get a little break. Maybe if you die, you watch your team carry on. It's quite. I don't know. It's quite. I don't know. More of a relaxed game.
Although in saying that, surely the first few minutes when you're playing, that's quite tense because you think, well, I've only got 1 life here. So is it?
Yeah, but you get multiple rounds, and so like if you fuck up, you can. Like I pretty much died in every single round. Like I'd take people with me, but I wasn't too good at it. So
sure. We also had the strongholds, which was added, which is a take on domination, I think, and you're effectively trying to dominate or look after certain territories across the map. Did you get much chance to play with that, or did you only read dabble in that? 'Cause I think it only arrived in the last week of the beta.
Yeah, I had a little go at that, but I'm not too keen on the modes that aren't solely focused on killing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? I don't quite. So that's a good one. I think, as you say, it was like that Call of Duty one,
domination.
That Call of Duty mode, domination. But yeah, so don't know. I don't think that there was anything. I mean, there was a few things quite similar to that in the original Halo or the previous Halo games. So didn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. But
no, it's there if you want it, I guess, isn't it? If you want to try something different, it's there.
It's just given a variety.
What did you make of the maps? There was several maps they sort of rotated them on and off. Did you feel that the map design was good? I quite enjoyed the ones that I managed to get a go on.
Yeah, I thought they were really really well constructed. Like you always get people trying to feel them out at first, but after a while, it's players sort of going into the same area and holding an area like their base almost, like especially on where I think there was one called Pegasus. It was like a space station-y kind of one, and it was the higher ground. Everyone always wanted to occupy the higher ground and was holding that. So like, I think they've really thought about that sort of thing, and it seemed to work really well.
What did you make of the power weapons being marked on the map, and then there's also a countdown? Did you enjoy that, or is that something that you felt was sort of takes away sort of the mystique of knowing the maps a bit better for the more experienced players? Because even I managed to get hold of them.
Everyone, it put people on an even keel, and it's kind of nice to know when they're coming back, because if you're within that area, you can pick off the people trying to get the weapons, or maybe get the weapon yourself. So that kind of invites like everyone runs to the same area at that time, which is good. So I thought that was quite a good feature, really.
Excellent.
Gave a bit more of a focus to the Slayers rather than just running around, just mental, shooting everyone.
So I mean, as we get towards the end of this sort of chat, I mean, have you got positive vibes and positive thoughts of what Halo 5 Guardians could become in terms of just its multiplayer that we've seen over this last 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, I have. I'm very excited about the single player,
Yes.
as always, and the various other game modes that hopefully it offers. Um, there was the one thing that irked me about it actually
Yeah.
was the zoom functions.
Yes.
Um, I like it on the left trigger. I thought that was it's the best way to have
Mm,
it, rather than the stick
of
click.
course.
But um, I found on the DMR and a couple of others, DMR especially, the outer edging of the scope actually sort of took away a lot of your vision
Yeah.
rather than improved your vision. Like if you had your eye up to an actual scope,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see the outer edge, if you know what I
Mm,
mean. So it was a bit weird. I thought it looked like you're just looking at a smaller screen rather than a more magnified image
yeah. Okay.
for me.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
mean, the
um,
ADS, obviously, the aiming down sights is something that's optional there, but I think that I tended to sort of. I tried to use it to start with, and then I just went back to using shooting from the hip, and I was a bit more successful. But yeah,
yeah, but on the DMR, you need to be
yeah, I understand.
scoping. You know, it's a long range weapon primarily. So, um, but yeah, the aiming down sights, I did find at first with the like the pistol and the battle rifle, uh, I would aim down the sight unnecessarily just because I felt like that was how you played it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
often on Call of Duty and stuff, you're always aiming down the
sure,
sight. But after a while, I started shooting from the hip
exactly.
and
It was,
had a lot more success.
yeah, I mean,
So
it's just an option there, isn't it, to try and cater for as many people as possible, and it's there if you prefer to use it, and if you don't want to use it, then you don't have to. Um,
yeah.
so in a sentence or two, good, bad, bit of
Oh, I
both.
thought it was excellent.
Excellent.
Although I've probably highlighted a few
There's
negatives.
always negatives.
I'm just being
Nothing's
picky.
perfect, yeah. But I think
Yeah, well, it goes without saying it's going to be a good game, really.
excellent.
It,
But
the beta was fantastic. So
let's
overall,
just hope when it launches that 3-4 Industries manage to get the multiplayer working off the bat. But I mean, that's a wrap there. Thanks, Bud, for joining me. That was good to get your sort of
no,
thoughts on it
thank
and
you.
to sort of review what is going to be one of the most anticipated games of 2015. Everyone else that's watching, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you want to drop us a comment, feel free to do so. But that's it for now. Game over. Thanks very much for your time, and ta-da.